Hello, welcome to IGTV. I'm Angeline Ong, and this is your look ahead to the coming week, starting the 3rd of April 2023. We'll be joined by IG's Axel Rudolph in just a second. Let's take you across the corporate and the economic diary. Starting in Japan, we have the Tankan Large Manufacturers Index, and followed closely by China's Caixin Manufacturing PMI and similar data from the US as well. Also, we got OPEC Plus, a meeting. Of course, talks there will be around the oil prices that dampened slightly after the banking turmoil, but they have come back since then. Turning to Australia, where we have an interest rate decision from the RBA and also trade balance numbers from Germany and producer price numbers from the Eurozone as well. And don't forget, plenty coming out from America, JOLTS job openings data there, along with factory orders and crude oil inventories. These are the API ones. Moving swiftly on Wednesday, we've got an interest rate decision from New Zealand after Australia the previous day, and also factory orders from Germany and industrial production from France. So a good look, investors will get a good look at the two biggest economies in the Eurozone. Plus, look out for trade balance numbers from the US, non-manufacturing PMIs, and crude oil inventories, this time from the EIA. And then we'll get trade balance figures and the Caixin Services PMI, this time from China, along with industrial production figures from Germany too. Watch out for house price index data from the UK, from Halifax. Of course, we had nationwide out with downbeat data from on the UK market, and also initial jobless claims from the US. On Friday, that's where the set pieces with non-farm payrolls from the US. We also have the Baker Hughes oil rig count and trade balance figures from France. But really, it'll be that non-farm payrolls number that is quite a big trading opportunity for investors and traders alike. And joining me now is IG's Axel Rudolph. Give us a sense of where the opportunities are in terms of in and out points with the non-farms.
Well, Angeline, I'd like to look at the S&P 500, but you can look at any big US index if you want to trade that instead. Obviously, out of hours trading on the IG platform, because Friday is Good Friday next week, which is obviously Easter in Europe and markets being shut. But if you look at the S&P 500, the non-farm payrolls data next week will probably have a pretty big impact on the short-term trend. And from a technical perspective, what is interesting is that we've recently formed a bottoming formation and are now trading back above the psychological 4,000 mark and are heading towards the March high at 4,078 on this daily financial bet. If we were to trade above there by next Friday, and stay above it after the non-farm payrolls data has been released, then it's quite likely that the recent uptrend in the S&P 500 could take us all the way back up again towards the February high at 4,195. If, however, non-farm payrolls data were to disappoint, we may be slipping back down again towards the psychological 4,000 mark. But I'd like to mention one other thing, and that is the first quarter of this year has been positive for the S&P 500 and also for a lot of other indices globally. And this follows on from the last quarter, which has also been positive. And when you look at statistics and past market price behavior, the pattern of having 2 quarters which end up on a positive basis with regards to equity indices has not happened basically in a bear market of the last 50 years, meaning that the advance we've seen in equities since October of last year is probably part of a new bull market and not just a bear market rally.
Thanks very much, Axel. Axel looking at the S&P there. Moving swiftly on, we've got plenty on the corporate front as well, starting on Tuesday with full year earnings from Saga. Then moving on, midweek, we have quite a deluge there. Lucas full year numbers expected, along with trading numbers from Topps Tiles, and also full year numbers from Hilton Food Group and Q3 earnings from Conagra. Then on Thursday, we've got earnings, fourth quarter earnings from Constellation Brands and Levi Strauss, the jeans maker, out with Q1 numbers ahead of that long bank holiday weekend here in the UK. Taking a look for Saga is Axel. Saga's been riding that M&A wave. It's just ended talks with Australia's Open without reaching an agreement. Also, it's been looking to potentially sell some of its arms. What is the interesting trading angle here with Saga?
Well, what is interesting from a technical perspective is that it's still trading in negative territory year to date. And as you can see on the daily financial bed chart I've got up here, it seems to be, though, in the process of trying to form a bottom. So perhaps the decline we've seen since the beginning of the year, especially since February's highs, is coming to an end. And we'll have to see whether the full year earnings out on Tuesday will help the share price recover and rise back above the red line here, which is the 200-day simple moving average around the 140 pence mark. If we were to close above there, then I expect also the March downtrend line around the 151 pence mark to be reached and perhaps to also be broken through in the following month. But we'll have to see whether the full year earnings will disappoint or not. If they do disappoint, it's likely that we will be heading back down again towards the lows seen in March around the 115 pence area.
Thanks very much, Axel. Saga sells cruise holidays as well as insurance to those who are over 50. Well, that's your look ahead to the coming week. Plenty there. Axel's been looking at Saga and non-farm payrolls for us. Until then, hope you have a good weekend. For more videos from us here at IGTV, join us on Twitter at IGCom, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.